Industry Insider is only available at Promo Corner, the leader in digital marketing for the promotional products industry. Each Monday, they discuss, dissect, and debate a single issue impacting the world of promotional marketing from every industry perspective. Now, it's time for Promo Corner's Industry Insider.
Welcome to another edition of the Industry Insider, your promotional products podcast where you can get all the nerdy news you need to know about. My name is Jeff Franklin, National Accounts Manager with Headwear USA. I'm joined today by three other lovely folks, but before we get to them, why don't we tell you a little bit about our sponsor for today, Tervis. All right. Tervis has been around since 1946 and is celebrating 75 years in business, starting with their classic line. All right. They've got sleek styles made, make them perfect for the active and on-the-go lifestyle. Tervis is the original double-wall insulated drinkware that keeps cold drinks cold and reduces condensation. Backed by a made-for-life guarantee, Tervis is the original customizable double-wall insulated drinkware that keeps hot drinks hot and cold drinks cold. Available in several sizes, including a 16-ounce mug, a 16 or 24-ounce tumbler, and a 24-ounce water bottle. Made from Triton plastic, made in America, lifetime warranty, dishwasher, and microwave safe, and they're BPA free. So be sure to check them out at tervispromos.com. You will not be sorry that you did. So why don't we start off with Meg Erber with S&S Activewear. How are you doing today, Meg?
I'm doing great, Jeff. How are you?
I'm glad to hear it. Thank you for asking how I'm doing. It's so nice of you. I'm doing great as well.
Yeah. So at least we know what you would look like bald now.
I know. I'm kind of digging it, actually. I mean,
you don't have to be afraid when it happens.
I kind of went that direction a little bit.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, it was the hype video. I used a refacing app to superimpose our faces onto some fun people. Steven's was spot on.
It actually made me feel young again, Meg, because I over the last 5 or 10 years I've traded quite a bit of muscle in for fat, and
oh yes, and then you were
you made me Vin Diesel, so I was
yeah, I really appreciated you guys picking like really cool characters for yourselves.
Come on.
And you forgot about the mini-me part. I was like, is that because I'm short, Meg? Is that because I'm short?
So that's Steve McFadden with Perfect Promotions and More, also known as Mini-Me or Dr. Evil.
Let's go with Dr. Evil for I guess it's the better. It was awesome. It was
how are you doing, Steven?
I'm doing well.
Good.
I'm in shock.
Glad to hear it.
From the video.
He's shook.
Well, listen, we're also joined today by an amazing guest. Super excited about today's conversation. We're going to talk about divergent thinking, outside of the box thinking for us plebes and laymen's. But ultimately, Sara Webb is the master of said topic, and so we're gonna have her school us all, basically. But first and foremost, Sara, as we like to do here with our special guests, we like to open the floor for 3 to 4 minutes and allow you to tell us all things about Sara Webb, whether it's your Dallas, Georgia history or if it's anything else. Little inside joke, but hey, how you got started with the promo industry and what you've been up to since is always a great place. So
but I only have 3 to 4 minutes. I mean, I'm ancient in here, you guys. So I've been in business for over 20 years. I literally was 12 when I started. 12.
Wow. Yeah, 12.
That's how old me and Meg act.
Definitely 12. I started in industry. I was with another distributorship, and I had the pleasure of being trained under Janelle Nevins, which is why the teal is here. I was part of the Nevins marketing group. And when I started In Tandem, I asked if I could carry the teal with me every single day, which is why our logo is teal. But I started as an assistant account executive, learned all the things, worked under 2 really great salespeople who taught me the creative side as well as the dollar and cents side of this business. So you need both. I started in a time where they had fax machines. I literally had like a fax machine on my desk. I know I'm totally dating myself. And we would overnight camera ready artwork. So that was actually a thing back then. And since then, I started In Tandem in 2013. We started literally in my house, a totally different side story, had programs out of my basement. I do live in Dallas, Georgia. So out in the sticks, y'all, there's no Uber delivery. None of that stuff happens out there. And so we would drive to the post office daily to ship out our products. I know, it's crazy. to a 5,000 square foot building, then to a 15,000 square foot building, and we continue to grow and build. So luckily, to my husband's excitement, I no longer have programs in my basement. We can actually use our basement. And here we are.
Has he turned it into a man cave yet, though?
So true story, we have completely redone the basement during the pandemic. It took us longer to build out the basement than it did our house. And yes, it does have man cave room with like the draw down projector TV. Now I can't get furniture. I don't know what's happening. I can't get furniture. I can't get all sorts of things, but I can't get furniture right now. So we're having to spend the nights on the floor.
Fair enough.
Oh my gosh.
So you're saying you can't get furniture because of the shortage? Is that the issue?
Yes. So from what I understand, petroleum is a thing that we're short on among every other excuse or shortage that we have right now. So yes, it's overseas. It's on a boat. It's sitting somewhere. Either that or somebody's using my layback movie theater.
It's both. It's probably sitting on the cargo ship outside of Longport, California, and they're sitting in your recliner, just like chilling. Be like, do you want to pay me? I'll enjoy my time here. I would.
I got a great article I'll send you actually about that. It's pretty cool. But yeah, so listen, like I said, outside of the box thinking is what we're talking about today, and really where that all originated from. And if anybody's listened to the show in the past, I'm actually living a little bit of a dream right now because, like I said, one of the people that I said that I wanted to meet in the industry that I hadn't met yet was, I said, Sara Webb. And, so yeah, I'm living a dream, guys. But ultimately,
Van Diesel. So I mean, it's a win-win.
Oh,
there you go. We're both living dreams.
You didn't have mini me on your list? I'm
here
just curious. That wasn't okay.
Yes, Dr. Evil. I mean, I do this.
I love the no while she's shaking her head no, but then she said yes.
Totally.
Completely mixed signals there. No, but I was very drawn to what you guys did at Expo East or Expo Direct to You, sorry. And basically there was the PPB Newslink article that went out, and that's where I had heard about it, and we talked about it literally that day on our show. And that's kind of the thinking that I love. I'm very magnetized to that kind of thing. There's very few people in this industry, or really even in the world that I have come to know, that think like that, so simply, and really just make lemonade out of lemons. It's a sort of a shitty situation that you took and turned into a really the best possible scenario, right? So why don't you tell us a little bit about that? How your experience at Direct to You, how you decided to, rather than take folks from the office and do it that way, and to do what you guys ended up doing. Take us down that road.
So as you all know, PPAI Las Vegas is huge, and it's really where you get so many genius ideas. It sets my tone, it sets my year. I get hyped up, I get energized. We connect with our team, we connect with our partners, and not having that, I was scared. Honestly, I didn't know what our year was going to look like, how we were going to find product. Everything is sight and touch and hear and listen, and really having that full 360 experience with the product and just soaking it up. So I knew that we had to do something, and it turned into such a great opportunity because every year we can't bring our entire sales team. It's just too expensive. It's not cost advantageous getting all the flights and all the things organized. And so this was a great opportunity to bring everybody from our company on the sales side to have one kumbaya moment, brainstorm. And through this pandemic, In Tandem has been fortunate enough to remain open the entire time. Our offices have not closed. We are in individual offices. We've been safe. We've been doing the things that we're supposed to do. So, staying 6 feet apart and sanitizing and all the things. But we're a family. We've been together through this. And so we weren't operating from a place of fear when we decided to take the expo externally and create it as something where we could feed off of each other. Because that's really what Vegas does for me, is I feed off of you, I feed off of my team. And so we were trying to just come up with a way to recreate it, and it turned out to be amazing. So we had our own rooms. We were able to have indoor and outdoor space. We had it up on a big screen TV. We brought food in. We stayed in our pajamas, our SNS Boxercraft, little
Yeah.
plug right there for you.
Yeah.
And we had a great time. You know, we were able to brainstorm and talk about the product together. Even though it was not the most ideal situation, we had a great time doing it.
So just so you know, we were actually planning on getting those exact same Boxercraft pajamas and wearing them on the show today, but it didn't happen.
Too last minute, and I couldn't connect the dots. That's why I was like, yes, we know, we loved it. So
It was
like
very last minute.
right. And that's what we saw. It was like, this is team building, whether you realize it or not. You're providing an opportunity for this camaraderie, for this, you know, you guys are all just going to hang out together now, where as before, even where you said it, you couldn't, you know, I don't want to say afford, that's not the right word, but it's just so expensive to take all of your salespeople. And now you have that opportunity. And at first I was like, I don't even know if I would want to do that. But then I saw the pictures and I was like, I want to be part of that team. That would look like so much fun. So yeah, props on that.
So how many folks did you guys have participating?
8 of us that were there.
Awesome.
So, and it was great. Like we were, they had a jacuzzi, they had fire pit, I mean, it was great. So, you know, we spent the day doing what we needed to do and then enjoyed the afternoon and the evenings together. So it was a lot of fun.
Was this an Airbnb that you rented?
So there's this place called Reynolds Plantation. It's between South Carolina and Georgia, and they have these beautiful homes there. And so, yes, we did rent through like an Airbnb type.
Wow, that's really awesome.
Now, did you guys set up, I'm assuming you guys set up like meetings and stuff, like with suppliers to kind of do what you would normally do in Vegas as well, and then all come into a room and like have it on television? Did you guys do stuff like that, or have any events with that as well? Anything that you guys did?
Yes. So in between, we did have timed meetings, and I think some of the partners, they were like all out of sorts because it would be one person logging in, but then we were all in the living room. So they're like, where's Sarah? Where's Katie? Where's Portia? You know, and so we're like, we're all here. We're here. You know, they couldn't see that. And so, you know, that was one of the challenges that we had was, you know, they were doing the points thing. And so then the team was like, I need more points this time, so I'm going to log in. So did a little bit of juggling in between that. And then we did get a little bit of pushback because, you know, they didn't see all of our team coming in, but we were all there. So, you know, we did have to have some additional conversations about it. But once they realized what we were actually doing, they were excited to help. And then, yeah, we did have like the chat conversations and our projects that we were working on. And what was cool too was, you know, normally I go into the booth and I think about certain projects that I'm working on. So as the team going into the booth, they're thinking about their own projects, but then we would hear each other's projects. So then we'd go into another room or another room, and we would say, somebody else would show a different product. And all of a sudden we were like, oh, Portia, this is like the coolest thing. You need to do this for so-and-so. And so like our brains were exploding. We were pretty exhausted afterwards. Yeah, it was really fun.
That's
So
really
there's so
cool
many
that-
different directions that I could take this, because I know you guys almost made it like your own little sweet show, right? Like an EME of your own to some degree, because you're there as a team, going through it as a team, and you're having those one-on-one meetings or going through those supplier partners as a team. So really awesome. But really what I think I likened it to the most is if there's any like NHL fans, you know, any hockey fans that are listening, like when you're watching, you know, the Stanley Cup playoffs, and the home team that happens to be away, like those cities typically set up this ginormous screen and have like these huge watch parties like outside during the Stanley Cup. And so that's kind of what I felt like, you know, you guys were doing. You were pulling together your team and doing the whole thing because you couldn't actually be there. You know what I mean? So I just thought it was super cool. What other type of, you know, outside of the box thinking things have you done in the past to sort of lend to, I guess, employee engagement and that sort of stuff? Because I know we sort of talked about that before.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, one of the things that the pandemic brought to the forefront of to me is that, you know, fear visits us strong and it stays with the weak. And I keep saying that over and over again to myself. But then to my friends and family, because, you know, if you live in that place of fear and it's like a stopgap, it stops your brain from being able to think about the next 2 or 3 steps. And so when the pandemic happened, yes, I was just as afraid as everyone. And a lot of you that know me know that I am a type A personality. I close off this period between December and January. And that's when I'm planning out my year. And I'm serious about it. Like, I have my calendar, nobody's allowed to talk to me. Like, don't call me. This is my time where I take care of like my brain and get me ready for the year. And like any plan, I know that things are going to change and shift, but at least I go into the year very, very focused and diligent, and I have the things laid out. Well, 2020 happened, and that's not a thing. Like, I had to throw it all out. And as I was sharing, like, I felt, after I threw it out, I did have a cry. I'm not going to lie. Like, I had my little dumpster fire, and I had my tear jerks and my alcohol and all the things. But there was this moment of, okay, now what? You know, that pause where I could do anything and nobody was going to say anything. Like, I have complete freedom to screw all of this up. And guess what? It's okay. It's 2020. Like, nobody's going to say anything. And it was in that moment that I realized how rigid I had become in my own little box, and how I can still do anything I want to. It's 2021 and I can still do whatever I want to. And so that epiphany really helped get us through the pandemic. So one of the things that we did that I'm really, really proud of is when everything shut down and we realized that we were going virtual and everything was going to be on Zoom and on video, we realized how many of our clients were not client facing. So what does that mean? That means that they're not wearing the apparel. They don't have branded merchandise. They're going to be on these calls. So In Tandem sent out catalogs to our clients with apparel and said, hey, pick your top 3 favorites. And we had a range. We had outerwear, we had t-shirts, we had polos, we had sweatshirts, whatever the case was. And it was across the board. And they could each pick 3 different items. And the response we got was tremendous. What that also did is we have in-house embroidery. So that kept our embroidery team occupied, embroidering, testing, trying out different fabrics that maybe corporate America wasn't purchasing. What it also did was ensure that all of our clients had branded merchandise that they were wearing on the Zoom calls. Then they had their executive team going, wait, where'd you get that? Hey, I didn't know you had that. So all of a sudden I had all of these logos that were digitized. They had product out in the field. Our name and our brand was out there, and we haven't stopped. And that's what's been so cool about just making that shift. And I think one of the lessons that I've learned is that you really have to understand your client first. It's all fine and good to plan what you're going to do as a company. You know, everybody's like, what's your corporate plan? And what is this? And what's your 5-year vision? And blah, blah, blah. That doesn't mean anything if you don't know who your client is. And so understanding what they're going through and meeting them at their space, and then creating your value journey as a company from that is really what's going to make the impact.
So how did that affect, like, that whole mindset that you had, the epiphany? How did that affect your planning session between December and January of 2020 into 2021? Since things are so different, how do you plan for what you don't know how to expect?
Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie. I got through 2020 and I was exhausted. You know, my brain never stopped. I didn't know what I was doing. Everything was broken. I'm fixing all of these things. I'm learning all these things. And so one of the things that we always do, that I always do, is have what I call my someday list. So this is all the things that I want to get to someday. So whether it's new process guides or new social media, whatever the case may be. So we kept moving through all this, having that momentum. Well, we got through all of these things. We redid all of our onboarding. New hiring process, new hiring documents, videos, all of this stuff. So now it's 2020. It's the week right before 2021, and I shut everything down. And I think I had an emotional breakdown. It was that, okay, I've made it through. The need for masks, the need for the PPE, the need for all of these things is going to start decreasing. That's not going to be a thing. And yes, people are still having virtual events. And yes, we're still going to be shipping out and doing warehousing and fulfillment. But what we knew is not coming back in 2021. And I was one of those people, and I'm somewhat embarrassed to say this, but I swear to you, so March 13th was our D-Day. That was when everything shut down. And then I literally swore, like, word in stone, the whole 9 yards, that we were going to be back 100% in after spring break. Like, this is not a thing. Everybody's crazy. I'm not crazy. I got this, but it didn't happen that way.
I'm guilty of that too.
Because I was pushing. So, all of a sudden, to your point, 2021 happened, and I was at this place where I just couldn't see. I couldn't see. And every year I've been able to see. I can see the future. I know what I need to do. I know what markets I'm going into. I know what shows we're investing in. I couldn't see that. And January was very, very hard for me, emotionally, mentally. And so, going away with the team helped. But at the same time, it's also still a letdown because it's not what I'm used to. It's not how I could prepare. So one of the things that I am a huge proponent of is, when in doubt, train it out. So I learn all the things all the time. So every year I have both a personal goal and a professional goal. And it's training something, a new skill, a new activity. And I've done everything from learning golf, which I think I'm going to have to learn again because I haven't played it in a year. But learning golf, ballroom dancing, pottery. This past year, I learned how to ride a road bike. Y'all, I know that they say just it's as easy as getting on a bike. No, you have to clip your shoes in and literally figure out how to unclip them. And I am that person. I'm so embarrassed to tell y'all this, so don't tell anybody else. So
Don't worry, it's just my mom listening.
Yeah.
So I'm driving my bike, riding my bike, and pedal. And we come to this intersection and I could not unclip. Thank God the car was stopped. And I'm like, hey, I'm coming. I could not unclip fast enough. So that is actually a skill that I have to still learn, but true story. But, Jeff, to your point, I had to learn these things, and it's making those connections is what has brought me out. It brought me out of my mental state. One of the things that we're doing right now is I'm going through 120 hours of digital marketing classes. So not many people are going to do this, and it helps me connect dots that I didn't see. I have a master's, I have an undergraduate, I'm really smart. Digital marketing was not anything that I had learned about or trained for or understood. I mean, I know how to post a picture on Instagram, but I don't know anything about SEO. And really understanding these things and, learning from how to be a better leader, learning HR things that I didn't know about. That's really what has helped me to continue to move forward and get out of my mental state.
Yeah, I'm clicking so much with everything that you're saying, and it's weird because I don't know if everybody can pick that up, but I do the exact same thing that you do, maybe slightly different. But that last week of the year between Christmas and New Year's, I always take off.
So
I'm not working, but I take that time off and I plan out at minimum the first 6 months of the year. Typically, I'll do the whole year, and then the first 3 to 6 months is pretty rigid. And I know exactly what you're saying. We rolled into December and January of this year, and that's why I asked, hoping maybe you could share a nugget or two with me, because I was the same way. I was just, like you said, I think it was a perfect analogy. You just I couldn't see. Yeah. And, I think I've struggled a little bit this first quarter because of that. But ultimately, things are still good, sun shining with light at the end of the tunnel and all that. But I just wanted to say that, I'm definitely clicking with what you're saying. Meg, Steve, I'm sure you guys have plenty of stuff to ask, so I'm going to shut up now and let you guys ask a question.
I just wanted to say one thing about the road bike. That's hilarious because I got an office bike and still hurt myself with the pedals because the Peloton directions say kick out of it. Well, don't ever kick out of it because you kick out hard enough, the whole bike will go over. And I literally skinned my entire shin. I just left my shoes on the bike and I'm like, I can't. And then I had PTSD from it. Like I didn't even get on it again for like 2 weeks. I did get on, and then everybody and their mother sent me videos or told me how to do it. And I did it. So now I've done it twice.
You kick out now?
I want to see the video of you kicking out. And
well, there wasn't a video of me kicking out. There was a video of how I hurt myself afterward, obviously. And I'm like, man, I'm literally 12 years old. But go ahead, Steven. I'll let you hop in. You've been sitting there so patiently.
Oh no, I'm good. I was listening. I'm just listening. No, I love the idea. I mean, there's so much about what you said that's awesome and motivational in a lot of ways as well too. Always continuing to improve yourself and improve your company, and I think that we can take a lot from that. And I think out of that comes the creative thinking. I think that's as you continue to learn new skills and see how people are doing things differently. We bridge the gaps between our industry and other industries and other marketing fields. And, we can take a lot from how, big corporations do these retreats and they do these training sessions, and we can, bring it into the promo world. And, the clear example, obviously, of the direct to you, which you guys did, was such an amazing example of that. And I think you guys are going to be better off for that going into the year, whether or not you have a plan or not. I think people are going to be so excited and have that energy. We struggle with that as well. Like, we weren't exactly thrilled about the direct to you option, right? And I think there was a lot of energy like that out there. And so we put our efforts into a new office. So like, we just kind of went a whole different direction. We're like, hey, these are things that we've been wanting to do. So let's take time as a team and do that. And so we've been excited about that. But it's anything to get your team excited it's huge. It's been so difficult to do and so hard to come together. So I think we can take a lot from that example.
Well, I think, one of the things that that we've all learned too is that proximity is power. So we realized how important it is to be close to each other and having those opportunities to connect both emotionally and mentally and physically. And so one of the things that we did was we always have 2 open houses every year. And one of the ways that we had to also transition that was, what were we going to do in the fall? We knew that there was a need. We were trying to, figure out how do we get in touch with clients and how do we show them what we're doing, but then also do it in a safe way. And so Catherine Brewer, actually with ETS, she had the idea of doing a picnic in the park. So in August of 2020, we did a picnic in the park. Now, usually all of our open houses are very much themed. It's usually around alcohol. So like, we're at a distillery or we're at a brewery or anything, fun. So it was a little bit different doing it in a pavilion. It was a very nice pavilion, but it was in a pavilion. And, there were families walking by and kids, and we had like outdoor games going, and the kids were playing with outdoor games. And, the partners were there, and everybody was masked, and we were giving masks out, and they were able to see and touch the product. And I think even just doing something, to your point, and just moving it forward and reinventing some of the things that you've done is what's going to keep us all moving forward for sure.
Very cool. You guys have any other questions? Meg, you were going to say something, right?
I know. I get I've had 17 questions or things to say, and then I'm just listen to the story, and then by the time she's done, I'm like, oh, I don't remember what I was going to ask. I was even going to write it down. I'm like, I don't have a pen. I don't know if you saw me looking around, so I'm sure it'll come to me.
I've done that a couple times.
Squirrels, I know. I remember the last thing I was going to say, because we all did it. Have you tried goat yoga with the team, as a fun?
Oh, true story. There's this place called Goat Vineyard, and so you can go to this winery, a dancing goat. And so you go to this winery, and they have goats, and they do goat yoga there. And so that is something that we're going to do on the list for sure.
I think that's fun. It's a fun team building exercise.
But again, like you said, there's alcohol involved because you said it's at a vineyard.
Winery,
yeah, perfect.
Vineyard.
Perfect. Relaxing. You got some yoga, some wine. It's all good.
That's the only way you're going to get me to do yoga too, unless you peg me to do it on the show live, like with what's happened before. That's scary.
It was fun.
Say there's alcohol there, and I'm there. So, all right. Do you guys have any other questions, or do you want to go into rapid fire?
Yeah, let's go into rapid fire.
All right. Well, first, let me just give a shout out to Tim Hill and to John Cudahy, because they've both chimed in on Facebook. And if they're still listening, hello, guys. How are you? Can't wait to see everybody's smiling faces again in person. All right. Rapid fire. Why don't we pick on Steven first? Steven, what is your rapid fire question?
I had one and I didn't write it down, like Meg, who couldn't write down stuff earlier. So I'll just go with favorite sports playoff.
I'll say NHL.
Yeah, NHL has to be.
No.
They're out in Georgia. Do they even have hockey in Georgia? She's like, what's hockey? We live in the...
Go ahead, Sarah. Tell them.
So, okay, well, I'm definitely a Braves fan. I don't know. I was on 680 The Fan, which is the Braves radio station. I know, very exciting. So for sure the Braves, and they totally got dissed. I really want to say that I'm a Falcons fan, but you can't really say that in Georgia. And for sure, we have the best soccer team in the nation. So for sure, it's got to be soccer.
Soccer playoffs.
And my kid plays varsity soccer. Can I do a plug?
Yeah.
Sure.
So, I mean, it's got to be soccer. And the World Cup. Yeah, the World Cup is projected to
Ooh,
be.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
World Cup is really good, actually. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But for an annual event, I'd have to say hockey.
No.
I'm gonna go NFL.
All right, Meg Erber, what is your
All right.
question?
So since we are in March Madness, we'll kind of shift and do merch madness. All right. So I think if you saw that merch madness on Twitter going on that ASI put out, it was really fun. And it was down to like t-shirts and hats. And then there was another one before we went to the final playoff, like the final, Stanley Cup, whatever. So I mean, I obviously know what Jeff's gonna say. So, but Sarah, t-shirt or hat? What do you think would be the better giveaway?
Like the best one seed.
Yeah, the 1 seed. Yeah.
Sarah, I'm judging you.
I know.
And I'm judging you, Sarah.
Meg, you sell both, so be quiet.
I sell both, so it's okay.
You want me to go first?
Yeah,
Sure, Steven.
first.
Shirt.
Yeah.
Wrong answer.
Everyone wears a shirt.
Everyone wears, well.
I mean, or everyone.
Not everyone wears.
Most
pants, though.
everyone wears a shirt.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get Sarah's answer first before I interject.
Totally hat.
No, I could see it.
I could see it too.
She typed in chat something different. I can see here.
No, that's not true. I don't have a chat. Oh, it was probably to you directly. Yeah. All right, listen, it's definitely a hat, and here's why, okay? Hats and shirts both have the same number of impressions, 3,400 impressions per item, okay? Tied for second only behind outerwear, but outerwear is seasonal, so get rid of that stuff. And it's more expensive. All right. The reason why you would want to pick a hat over a t-shirt is, again, same number of impressions, but the retail perceived value you get on a hat is much higher than it is on a t-shirt. Hats retail for anywhere from $30 to $50. A t-shirt's going to retail for $20 to $25. And in our industry, a shirt and a hat's going to cost around the same. So you get that instant boost in retail perceived value from the investment.
Wow, TED Talks by Jeff. That was amazing. I learned something.
The first time you've asked me about hats in like 105 episodes. So yeah, I just let it all out there.
Well, I will have to say that I would go with the t-shirt because I could go on the same ROI, but I will tell you also who won, and it was hats. So hats, and then I guess it was like drinkware and something else, and I think drinkware won. So I don't know who would win against drinkware, but I would go for the hats over the drinkware.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a really good segue into our sponsor, but we're not quite ready yet. I think I have a question and Sarah's got a question. So hold that thought. All right. So my question, I wanted to ask you something alcohol related because it came up so much recently or on this episode, but I'm going to stick with my original question since you're from Georgia. All right. Sweetened or unsweetened?
Oh, sweetened. Are you kidding me? And not this stuff that you guys do up north where it's like, I'm going to pour in a couple packets of sugar. No. That is not sweet tea, y'all. That's not sweet tea. It has to be cooked. You cook the tea, you cook it, and then you do the liquid. And that's all I'm saying about that. So yes, sweet tea.
She's like, bless your hearts.
Bless your hearts. Don't even try it. Especially when I go up north and they're like, sweet tea? Do you want peach? No, I don't want peach tea. I need sweet tea with sugar. Not Splenda, not Sweet and Low, sugar. Just saying.
What if you cook the tea with peaches and you infuse it with that peach flavor?
No,
that's not either.
And there's something here that us true Southerners know, which is called sun tea.
Oh yeah.
Gallon, your used milk gallon. Clean it out first. You put your tea bags in it and you lay it out in the sun.
I've done that. Yep, I love it. That's the best way.
See?
But I use honey. Don't kill me.
You say Sunny D? Is that what you said? I'm kidding.
So I'll just go since I kind of butt in on that. Unsweetened, but then I add honey afterward. I'm sorry, Sarah. I am not from the South. I am from South Jersey. Close, but not enough.
Not far south
Not
enough.
far south. I do call it the dirty South because there's a joke in New Jersey. They're like, "What exit?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I'm like the dirty South." And people are like, "I get that."
I'm
Yep.
a no T.
What?
Really?
She's like,
Really?
"Blasphemy."
No,
Yeah.
no.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
No.
I don't know why I'm apologizing. I don't like tea.
You're in North Carolina. I don't know if that's even allowed.
Yes.
Like saying that he doesn't like barbecue. I don't know.
No, I
What?
like barbecue.
No, I'm just kidding. Just
Calm down. Calm down. Everyone
I
calm
know.
down.
Simmer. Corn on the cob. Let's go.
Just not a fan of it. Just I've tried a bunch of different times and
Chick-fil-A sweet tea. Come on.
I've tried it. Just not
that's
my
some
thing.
good lemonade.
Chick-fil-A is
They have
what's
good
up.
lemonade.
So are
Yes.
they against like the Arnold Palmer down in the dojo? Like,
No, now they do some serious Arnold Palmers down here.
yeah, that's my jam.
Sweet tea with
I'll
sweet.
take it. I'll take it.
Hold on. Now we can actually take my question and blend it with the alcohol question. We can spike that Arnold Palmer.
Yeah.
There we go. That's
I'm
my
never
answer.
drinking
Spiked
again.
Arnold
Okay.
Palmers. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
All right,
All right,
Sarah.
Sarah. What's your
What you
question?
Okay, so since I am super big on social media right now and all things digital, Clubhouse or not to Clubhouse?
We just had Tim Hill on.
Oh, Clubhouse.
Yeah, I actually Clubhouse every morning with Tim and Michelle Hill, and then last night I was brought into a Merch Madness Clubhouse with Charity and Javier and Mandy Clay, and it was just listening to Charity. She's grown so much since I've met her. I love listening to her, so I am pro Clubhouse. I wasn't at first. I was like, I don't have time, but it was fun. Yes.
All right, Sarah. I guess I have to ask you then, because you haven't had any strikes against you yet. But I guess if you're asking the question, that means you are an Apple device user.
I am an Apple device user.
Strike
And
Jeff still lives in 1994. I don't
Strike
know.
one.
I don't know.
all things Mac.
Meg, how do you like 2-year-old technology?
Oh,
All right.
Joe Hoffman.
So I don't actually have any user experience to go off of, but everything I've heard, I would definitely be pro Clubhouse. You should jump in.
so I am in. I'm in
I followed you, right? I think I followed you yesterday.
I'm in the learning phase. So I'm
Get your party hat on.
Yes, I do have a party hat. I'm a big partier. Party.
That means you've been at, like, I think the party hat goes to new people up until like a week or so, something
Yeah.
like that, a week or two. Yeah. So then we know you're the newbie.
Yeah, so I'm learning all the things. It's very interesting. And
It
then
is.
all the different ways to track it, and that's really where I start geeking out on is how do you track it and monitor it and all of that stuff. But yes, the content's really great.
That's
Awesome.
awesome.
All right. Well, look, since we were, I'm gonna go back now. I'm gonna backpedal on my office bike, Meg. I'm backpedaling. Okay. We're gonna go back to your Merch Madness question. All right, and talk about drinkware for a hot second. All right. Of course, it's Tervis, right? Like when you're talking drinkware, you instantly think Tervis. All right. So Tervis added stainless to their well-established line about 2 years ago, with the goal of being better than the competition by utilizing state-of-the-art custom 360-degree UV printing. And they're available in 4 different sizes: 12, 20, 30, or 24-ounce water bottle as well, and now 24, 30, or 40-ounce wide mouth bottles. They've got a 5-year warranty, 18.8 copper lined, vacuum insulated. They'll keep your drinks hot for 8 hours. They'll keep your drinks cold for 24. You got to love it when you leave a little bit of your drink left in the bottom of the cup, and the next day the ice is still in there. It's pretty cool. So anyhow, if you want to learn more about that or anything Tervis or drinkware related, go check them out at tervispromos.com. You will not be sorry that you did. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Sarah, I really appreciate you being on. It was awesome.
Thank you guys.
Meg has one more question.
I remembered. I know, squirrel. So when you were doing the PPI direct to you, did you, and this is a segue kind of into next week's show, did you happen to go into the Showdown booth by any chance? And it's okay if you didn't, because we're going to have them on next week because apparently it was like amazing. So I wanted to see if you had gone into it or not.
It was. And actually, In Tandem Promotions, another plug, is part of the buying group, the partnering group. And so we're doing a special one-on-one so that all of our partnering group members are able to see it as well, because it's phenomenal. If you guys haven't had the opportunity to set up a meeting with them, how it clicks and goes through, and you can go to the catalog and I mean, talking about all of the things digital and the capabilities to really feel that experience without having to be there. Even when, you know, our rep is Bo Turner, who I love, he can't bring all the things. And it gave such a great opportunity to walk through, to click, to view, to brainstorm. So yes, I am super excited and will definitely be tuning in.
Awesome. Yeah. Steven, who is it next week coming in from
Kevin
Showdown?
Walsh.
Awesome. Super excited. So yeah, we'll get the lowdown and hopefully maybe we'll have a Showdown booth hype video or something. Fun. Maybe they'll find us in the video or in the booth. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Photoshop skills I can come up with.
We'll see what happens. All right. Well, listen, guys, that concludes the show. Sarah, thank you so much. Really appreciate you being on. Looking forward to working with you. And guys, we'll see you next week, right?
Maybe.
Take care.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Promo Corner's Industry Insider. For more great content from industry thought leaders, including podcasts, blogs, and videos, visit promocorner.com.